may happen. That is a sign he's a great man. Hello. Hello. I want to be great. It begins with courage. You don't wish to be great. Greatness is not a wish. And great is a twisted mindset. Hello. You become like him if you're as courageous as him. That he became great and is celebrated worldwide is because he had the seed of greatness, which is called courage. Now, the question is, do you have courage? If you have courage, you can become like him. Even surpass him. Come on, say here. Did you get me? Last year, a great man of God, some little issue because two of his prominent sons, one of them stood up and said, Daddy, I want to remove myself from the establishment because I believe that God has called me. Young man, his father is one of the richest pastors. There is nothing that young man would desire that he won't have. Just at the tip of his finger. Are you with me now? Now, there is no branch of the ministry that he could not comfortably pastor and become great. After he was the second son of his father. He's the second son of his father. He said, Daddy, your calling and my calling are not the same. Daddy, I know you ordained me a pastor, but I'm an evangelist. Daddy, thank you for all you have done. Thank you for the 120-seater capacity auditorium. I could come and preach there. But you see, I want to start small. That is a seed of greatness. That young man is not thriving on his father's achievement. If he only believed he could hear God, and if at the end of the day he failed, it will bear the consequences. What if I fail? No, it's not in the mind of the great. If I fail, I take responsibility for my failure. Kaya! Do you want to become fearless? Today, as this message is going on, the spirit of fear that keeps you limited will leave your soul. If you believe, can you understand? Amen. Oh, I'm not hearing you. Praise God. There was a time, this ministry was just starting newly. And we had this follower of this ministry, whom according to stories, he had been drinking and falling in gutter for 40 years. And when this ministry came, was our first convert. We prayed for him. Alcohol taste died in him. He became one of our elders, began to follow. But somewhere along the line, he began to have a relationship with the enemy of this church. And I started calling him on many occasions, saying, sir, this man you are following is an enemy of this church. And we are praying against him. We are praying. But these people who are into occultism, what they do is that when they notice that the arrow they sent is returning back to them, they will look for somebody who is around them and use them to exchange their head and escape. And I gave him an example. I said, for instance, Ahab. Ahab was the husband of a witch known as Jezebel. So that means Ahab was also rich in witchcraft. Two of us. Now, when Ahab was going to war with a king, another king, he called Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah. Said, come, let us go to war. But he now told Jehoshaphat, you dress like a king. Me, let me dress like a soldier. Whereas the king of Syria had already told 100 of his able soldiers, he said, do not fight small or big, only fight the king of Israel. When he's saying, catch him, kill him. So when these men entered war, knife do not touch them. If you like slaughter, nothing will happen to them. They were just looking for the king of Israel. And they saw one who looked like a king. And they went after him. And Jehoshaphat cried unto God, say, please forgive me, I'm sorry. Forgive me for this association. I am sorry, Lord. And they realized that this was not the king of Israel. So they left him. That day, Jehoshaphat would have died the death of Ahab. Ahab tried to use Jehoshaphat to exchange his head. And I said to him, sir, don't go out with this man. No. He will use your head and exchange his head in the day of death. Unfortunately, it happened just the way I said it. That's how it happened. The day of death came for the man. He used his friend and exchanged his head. And then later had stories how he has used people to exchange his head. Use his wife to exchange his head. Use his daughter to, oh boy, the man a wicked man. He's hearing me. Hello. Yeah, but use his son, use his children. So anybody who comes around him, he used them to exchange his head. And he used this man to also exchange his head. And the man died. Chai! When information came to me, I wept. I said, now what is happening? They said they brought ambulance. No, I said, no. So I rushed down to this place and I saw the ambulance. And I said to the ambulance person, please take this ambulance, go back. And I entered into the room. From 1 p.m., I prayed on